It was the last day of Ramadan. The sun had begun to set behind the rooftops of the small neighborhood where Hassan lived. The sky was painted in warm hues of orange and pink, and the soft sounds of the Maghrib azan echoed gently through the air. It was a moment filled with anticipation and joy, because the next day was Eid, the most awaited and celebrated festival of the year. In Hassan's home, the air was filled with excitement. The scent of fresh sheer kurma simmering in the kitchen mixed with the smell of newly washed clothes hung near the window. Hassan, a cheerful and kind-hearted 9-year-old boy, had been counting the days for Eid ever since the holy month had begun. Like many children, Eid for him meant happiness, new clothes, delicious food, warm hugs, and most importantly, new shoes. This year, Hassan had received not one but 2 pairs of new shoes from his parents. One pair was black with bright silver stripes that gleamed under the light, and the other was a deep blue with soft white soles. His eyes sparkled with joy when he first saw them, neatly placed in their boxers, waiting for him to choose the one he would wear on Eid day. Hassan spent nearly an hour that night deciding which pair to wear first. He tried on both, walked around the room, looked at himself in the mirror, and even asked his older sister for her opinion. Finally, he chose the black ones with silver stripes. They looked sharper, sleeker, and they made a satisfying tap on the floor when he walked. "I'll wear these on Eid morning," he declared proudly, putting them back in the box carefully. That night, Hassan barely slept. The excitement of Eid morning kept his eyes wide open. He thought of visiting the park, seeing relatives, receiving Eid, and most of all meeting his best friend Faheem, who lived just 2 houses away. Faheem and Hassan had been best friends since they were both toddlers. They had grown up on the same street, gone to the same school, played cricket on the same dusty field, and even shared the same favorite candy from the corner shop. Faheem was gentle, honest, and always smiled even when things didn't go his way. Hassan admired that about him. The morning of Eid finally arrived. The whole neighborhood buzzed with joy. Children were seen running around in new clothes, carrying colorful balloons, and shouting Eid Mubarak to anyone they saw. The streets were freshly cleaned, and the aroma of sweet dishes drifted from nearly every home. Hassan woke up early, even before the alarm clock. He brushed his teeth quickly, performed wudu, and got dressed in his new white shalwar kameez. The fabric was soft and crisp, still smelling faintly of detergent and his mother's perfume. He combed his hair neatly, put on his new black shoes with silver stripes, and looked at himself in the mirror. He looked and felt like a prince. "Ready for Eid, my little man?" his father said with a smile as he entered the room. "Ready, Abu," Hassan replied, grinning from ear to ear. After offering the Eid prayer at the mosque, where he met many of his friends and neighbors, Hassan returned home and had breakfast with his family. He received his first 80 of the day from his grandparents, too. Crisp 100 rupee notes. He was about to go out to play when he suddenly remembered Faheem. "I'll go show Faheem my new shoes," Hassan said, rushing to the door. His mother called out, "Stay near the house and don't get your clothes dirty." As Hassan stepped outside into the bright morning sun, he felt proud and confident. His shoes sparkled in the light with every step he took. He walked down the familiar path that led to Faheem's house, expecting to see his friend running out just as excited. But when he turned the corner and saw Faheem, he stopped in his tracks. Faheem was standing outside his house, leaning slightly against the wall. He wore a clean but old pair of brown sandals, the same ones he wore last year. His clothes were neat, but they weren't new. He was smiling, as he always did, but there was a noticeable quietness in his expression. "Oh, your shoes are awesome," Faheem said cheerfully, pointing at Hassan's feet. Hassan smiled back, but he noticed something in Faheem's eyes. It wasn't jealousy or envy, it was something softer, a kind of sadness he had never seen there before. That smile Faheem wore was real, but behind it was a longing Hassan could suddenly feel deep inside his heart. For a moment, Hassan didn't know what to say. He nodded and replied, "Thanks. My dad gave them to me." But his excitement felt a little dull now. They talked for a bit about the prayer, the sweets. The adabut, the energy was not the same. Hassan could sense that something was missing for his friend, something he couldn't ignore. They soon went their separate ways, with Faheem going back inside his house and Hassan heading back to his own. That afternoon, Hassan couldn't enjoy the day the way he had expected. He had received more 80, eaten his favorite dessert twice, and even been given a surprise toy by his uncle. but none of it brought him the joy he had anticipated. He kept thinking about Faheem, about the way he stood quietly, about the way his smile didn't reach his eyes, about those old, worn-out sandals. Later that evening, as the sun began to set and the Eid excitement began to fade into a calm evening, Hassan took out the second pair of shoes, the blue ones with the white soles, from under his bed. He held them in his hands and looked at them for a long while. He didn't need 2 pairs of shoes. He could only wear one at a time. Hassan made up his mind. He carefully wiped the shoes clean, making sure there wasn't a speck of dust on them. He even tied the laces properly and placed them back in the box neatly. Then, with a quiet sense of purpose, he left the house and walked to Faheem's home. Faheem was sitting on the front steps, looking at the sky. "Faheem," Hassan called softly. Faheem turned and smiled. "Hey, Hassan," without saying much. Hassan sat down beside him. For a few seconds there was silence. Then Hassan reached into the bag he had brought and handed Faheem the box. "My mom gave me 2 pairs of shoes," Hassan said. "One is for you." Faheem looked surprised. He opened the box slowly, and when he saw the new blue shoes inside, his eyes widened. For a moment, he just stared at them. Then, without a word, he hugged Hassan tightly. "Thank you," he whispered, his voice trembling slightly. "These are beautiful." "I knew they'd look better on you anyway," Hassan replied with a grin. The 2 friends spent the rest of the evening playing in their matching new shoes, laughing, racing each other, and enjoying the kind of happiness that only true friendship and kindness can bring. Moral Eid becomes more beautiful and meaningful when we deign to just celebrate our own joy, but choose to share that joy with others, especially with those we love. Sharing even the smallest of blessings can light up someone's world in ways we never imagined.